The Japanese military attacked Pearl Harbor in Hawaii on December 7, 1941. It facilitated the United States' entry into World War II. The paranoia among American citizens intensified on the West Coast and affected the entire nation. The United States citizens were afraid of an invasion on the U.S. continent. They saw these outcomes as realistic possibilities. The first mass sighting of a UFO in the United States occurred only 3 months after Pearl Harbor was bombed. It was over Los Angeles, California, and is referred to as the Battle of Los Angeles, or the Great Los Angeles Air Raid. February 24 to early morning February 25, 1942, a number of UFOs hovered over the city of Los Angeles. The U.S. Navy was so concerned they issued a warning that an attack was imminent within hours. During the night, military bases and defense plants were active, waiting for an attack from the Japanese submarines off the California coast. It quieted down that night, so the citizens began to relax. February 25, about 120 miles west of Los Angeles, UFOs were again picked up by radar. U.S. anti-aircraft group awaited on the ground to see what the alien craft were going to do. Then the officials ordered a blackout for the city of Los Angeles. Reports came in of enemy planes, balloons, or ships as a group of 1 to 100 swarmed the skies near the coast of Los Angeles. The ships seemed to dance across the sky but dropped no bombs. Sometimes they were slow and sometimes very quick. Over a period of 3 hours, 1440 rounds of ammunition were fired at the ships, and none of them were ever touched. There were rumors of planes shot down over Hollywood. At dawn, when the shooting stopped, the only damage to the city was due to the excitement of the night, the blackout of electricity, and damage from the falling debris of our own shells fired at the enemy. 5 people died on the ground, no military were injured, and no enemy ships were ever found. The military's attempt to explain the incident quickly became mysterious and convoluted. The Navy immediately stated there was no evidence of an enemy attack. On February 25, during a press conference, the Navy called it a false alarm. Immediately following the attack, the U.S. Army seemed more confused about the cause of the alert, and the credibility of the reports to Washington became shaken. The message to Washington was that perhaps there were only 5 planes over Los Angeles. That maybe they were either light Japanese planes flying launched from the submarine off the coast, or they were commercial planes operated by the enemy from California or Mexico. The truth is they did not know, had no explanation, and felt they had overreacted. They also stated they believed the enemy had intended to locate anti-aircraft in the area and or to deliver a blow to civilian morale. The Los Angeles Times reported in an editorial on February 26 the considerable public excitement and confusion caused by the alert, as well as its spectacular official accompaniments, demand a careful explanation. Fears were expressed as they were concerned that if the air raids were phony, it would undermine the confidence of civilian volunteers in the future. Congress Representative Leland Ford wanted to know whether the incident was a practice raid, or a raid to throw a scare into 2 million people, or a mistaken identity, or that it was meant to threaten so. California's war industries. It is interesting to note that after World War II, the Japanese stated that they did not send planes over the area at the time of the alert, even though they did launch aircraft over Seattle in that manner later in the war. So what did happen that night in Los Angeles? There has never been any real explanation. In 1983, the government came out with their explanation of it being a weather balloon. Does that sound familiar? Like a certain Roswell crash? It is hard to believe that over 1,400 rounds of ammunition could not hit and take down a weather balloon. Many in ufology state that aliens were concerned about humanity during World War II. That they monitored the situations carefully. Perhaps part of that was seeing what we were capable and were willing to do during attack. Maybe they too were surprised by our reactions to their appearance. The Battle of Los Angeles is pre-Roswell, so not as well known as other UFO encounters. I find it one of the most illuminating.